Hello and welcome to Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. I actually have no idea if this is going to run right now because I spent the last hour the last hour trying to get it to run. I've done some changes, so let's see. Oh, yes! Fuck yeah! Oh, fuck! Yes, it worked.
In the name of my health and yours, Holmes, stop smoking so much. There is more fog in our apartment than in the street.
You are right, Watson, but this evening is never ending, and I have nothing to do but make smoke rings. A more amusing pastime would suit better, but my doctor is against it.
Perhaps a little tune on the violin.
My heart is not in it tonight, Watson. Have you noticed how this cigarette burns? Would you not say it is like a life being consumed? How many lives will end tonight in London? How many crimes will be committed within the life of a single cigarette? Ah, the vanity of existence. It is but complaints and smoke, the meagre panache of its sickly soul.
The tobacco is giving you very somber thoughts. I am certain that this inactivity will not last. Let's retire. You'll be in better humour tomorrow.
Reason speaks. Let's to bed.
I'm so glad it runs. I'm so excited to play this game. It came out around the same time as the Persian Carpet. I think either 1 year earlier or later. I think this came out 1 year earlier. Frogwares presents A New Adventure of Sherlock Holmes. Oh. Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. I'm pretty sure these stories, versus Jack the Ripper stories, is why people think that Sherlock Holmes is a real thing. Or a real dude, you know? I don't think that, but there are people out there that think Sherlock Holmes was a real person in history. He is not. Whitechapel, London. 31st of August, 1888, 3:20 a.m.
Come this way, my lovely. We'll have a right good time. Wait, let me help you. Oh, it's my hair that pleases you.
I know it's Jack the Ripper, but I wasn't expecting... Look, I know it's Jack the Ripper, but... Did we really need...
The news is as dark as the sky, Holmes. An inquest has been opened into the murder of a poor woman in the East End. The unfortunate girl was discovered last night, lying in the street, still warm. The murderer was filled with an incredible savagery. Oh, the article gave me shivers down my spine. The inspectors in charge of the case don't seem to have even the slightest lead. A similar murder took place less than a month ago.
Ah, love. A romantic walk, a kiss in the moonlight, a polite refusal, a terrible anger, and a hanging.
This area of Whitechapel is a disgrace to London. The government should take serious note of what is going on there.
Whitechapel? This woman was found in Whitechapel?
Yes, indeed. Bucks Row, to be specific.
Then it was not a question of romance, but of commerce. Unless these women actually take pleasure in the vice, the female nature is completely...
Holmes, do you hear yourself? A woman is dead under unspeakable circumstances. No less than any other, she was a human, and one of Her Majesty's subjects. None of these streetwalkers of which you speak have any other way to survive but by selling their bodies.
Oh,
You know as well as I that our era is not a gentle one, and these women don't have much to look forward to. Some grace, if you would. Do not refuse them your compassion.
Oh, Watson.
Do not say another word, my dear Watson. We shall leave immediately for Whitechapel.
To the scene of the crime?
No, I think it would be better to arrive there a bit later once night has fallen. At the moment, the spot will be overrun by police officers and spectators. It would be impossible to investigate properly.
Then where are we going, Holmes?
The best thing to do would be to head to the police station and attempt to get a copy of the preliminary reports.
But the article in the Star seemed quite complete to me.
You must know, Watson, that journalists often draw conclusions from the facts without a proper understanding of how to do this delicate task. We must obtain the reports from the inspector in charge, as well as those from the coroner.
Very well, Holmes, but all the same.
It seems to me that I have a map of London somewhere, Watson. Can you find it and locate Whitechapel while I get ready?
You are too kind, Holmes. Searching through your mess?
Oh my god, Watson knows how to make my heart race. That was very, very lovely what he said. Special edition, the Whitechapel Horror. The third crime of a man who must be a maniac. Third, women lured by two by streets to be butchered. The latest victim identified. Opening of the inquest, great local excitement. The victim of the latest Whitechapel horror, the woman who was found yesterday morning in Bucks Row, completely disemboweled and with her head nearly gashed from her body, was for a time completely unknown. As the news of the murder spread, as the news of the murder spread, however, first one woman and... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. The text is just freaking out on me. I had to look at my other monitor. I'm like, is it really freaking out or is my eyes? It's my eyes. Sorry, back to the reading. As the news of the murders spread, however, first one woman and then another came forward to view the body, and at length it was found that a woman answering the description of the murdered woman had lodged in a common lodging house, 18 Thrall Street, Spiritual Fields. Women from that place were fetched and they identified the deceased as Polly, who had shared a room with 3 other women in the place. Okay, sorry, from all that text I got, they found out it was a woman from this place that's shared with 3 other women, and her name's Polly. Okay. On the usual terms of such houses, nightly payments of 4d each woman having a separate bed, it was gathered that the deceased led the life of an unfortunate while lodging at the house, which was only for about 3 weeks past. Nothing more was known of her by then, but that when she presented herself for lodging on Thursday night, she was turned away by the deputy because she had not the money. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at English. It's the only language I know, but she was then the worse for drink, but not drunk, and turned away laughing, saying, "I'll soon get my DOS money. See what a jolly bonnet I've got now." She was wearing a bonnet which she had not been seen with before, and left the lodging house door. A woman of the neighborhood saw her later. She told the police, even as late as 2:30 on Friday morning. Okay. Late as 2:30 Friday morning, Whitechapel Road, opposite the church, and at the corner of Osborne Street, and at 3:45 she was found within 500 yards of the spot murdered. The people of the lodging house knew her as Polly, but at about 7:30 last evening, a woman named Mary Ann Monk, at present an inmate of Lambeth Workhouse, was taken to the mortuary and identified the body of that as Mary Ann Nichols. So is that her first name? Or that's her real name. Also called Polly Nichols. She knew her, she said. So it's Mary Polly. Okay. As they were inmates of the Lambeth workhouse together in April and May last, the deceased having been passed there from another workhouse. On the 12th of May, according to Monk, Nichols left the workhouse to take a situation as servant at Ingleside Wandsworth Common. It afterward became known that Nichols betrayed her trust as domestic servant by stealing €3, this euros weren't around yet, right? I'm American. Pounds from her employer and absconding. From that time, she had been wandering about. Monk met her, she said, about 6 weeks ago, went herself out of the workhouse and drank with her. God, this is hard for me to read. I'm so sorry. She was sure the deceased was Polly Nichols, and having twice viewed the features as the body lay in a shell, maintained her opinion. There is a terribly significant similarity between this ghastly crime and the two mysterious murders of the women that have occurred in the same district within the last 3 months. In each case, the victim has been a woman of abandoned character. Each crime has been committed in the dark hours of the morning, and more important still is pointing to one man, and that man a maniac. Being the culprit, each murder has been accompanied by a hideous mutilation. In the second case, that of the woman Martha Turner, it would be remembered that no fewer than 30 stabs were inflicted. The scene of this murder was George Yard, a place appropriately known locally as the slaughterhouse. As in both other cases, there was As in both other cases, there was in this not the slightest clue to the murder. No one was known to have any motive for causing the woman's death. She was parted from her husband and lived with a man named Turner. But the searching coroner's inquiry revealed nothing connecting either with the crime. It was, fuck me, fancied that some of her many wounds had been caused by a bayonet, and she was said to have been seen with a soldier shortly before her death. So it's a soldier? Some soldiers were paraded at the tower, and one was said to have been identified by policemen as having been waiting about George Yard just about the time of the murder. I'm sorry, I swear I'm a smart person that can read, but I'm having so much trouble. Just about the time of the murder, but nothing came of it. The first murder, which strangely enough did not rouse much interest, was committed in Osborne Street. The woman in that case was alive when discovered, but unconscious, and she died in the hospital without recovering her senses. Consequently, she was unable to whisper a word to the police about her attack, about her fiendish assailant, and her murder has remained a mystery. All 3 crimes have been committed within a very small radius. Each of the ill-lighted thoroughfares to which the women were decoyed to be foully butchered are off turnings from Whitechapel Road, and all are within a half-mile. So the fact that these 3 tragedies have been committed within such a limited area are so strangely alike in their details is forcing on all minds the conviction that they are the work of the same cool-cutting man with mania for murder. There is no new light thrown on this case this morning. At 9 o'clock, the body of the deceased was removed from the mortuary to an improvised operating room on the premise, and Dr. Ralph Llewellyn made a post-mortem examination. The object of the examination was to determine, if possible, the order in which the various cuts were made. It is evident from the cuts in the throat that the head was bent back by the murderer before the knife was used. So, like that. Whether the other mutilation took place before or after the death remains to be settled, as also the position in which the woman lay when the deed's done. There are several questions of this kind which may throw light on the case, notably a small quantity of blood at the place where she was found and the fact that there must have been much of it elsewhere. At present, clues to the murder are entirely lacking, and the place where the deed was done is the first point. I'm so sorry. First point necessary to establish. Wow, okay. Sorry. Oh, fuck, that was so hard for me. Ah! Oh. Oh. Good. In this game, you can change your playing perspective at will. Press R or middle mouse button to switch. Oh, perfect. I like first person. You can use WASD to keep the left mouse button pressed. Ah, cool. To move your character in 3D mode, pressing caps lock or left shift will make your character run. Ah, that's so fast. That's like a straight sprint. Press R or middle mouse button again to come back to third person mode. Remember, you can change it anytime in game. Cool. Press space button for a dynamic help to see your items. All accessible items from your current position. Oh, cool. Now it's time to start the game. Can I do that from this mode? I can. Cool. Now it's time to start the game. Find the map on the table and click on it to take it into your inventory.
A map of London, at last. Let's see. The district of Whitechapel. I found the map, Holmes, and I was able to locate the Whitechapel police station.
Congratulations, Watson. Come, the game is afoot. You can read the article to me on the way.
Does it sound like their voices were recorded in 2 separate studios?
We have arrived, Watson, in Whitechapel.
Not very bright, and what cold. Brr, a typical London morning.
Oh my
Come,
god.
Watson, let's find this police station.
Okay, like, Watson is clearly the best character. Hello.
Then quickly, let's get to the police station.
Oh, fuck, he's so good.
Well, this station isn't very well kept, I say.
It's a local outpost, Watson. The daily tasks that confront these constables are not the easiest, and they are poorly paid.
Damn, okay.
Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello, I would like to speak with the Chief Inspector, if you please.
Constable Humphreys here. I am the only one in at the moment. What do you want with the chief?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am...
Sherlock Holmes? The detective that I read about in the papers? Well, that's a treat, that is. You come about the Buck Road case, have you? Indeed, we...
Not at all. We were just passing by chance. You say that there was a crime recently.
You don't know? You must be the only folk in London who haven't heard.
It won't be long until you find the culprit, no doubt.
Nothing is less certain. Suspects, 0. Clues, 0. It's not good for us, especially not in this district.
Listen, this isn't what I came here for, but if I can be of service, in a confidential capacity, of course, if you can entrust me with a copy of the preliminary reports, I could study them and return later with my conclusions.
It's just that these are official documents. I can't take a decision like that without the inspectors. The sooner we know the facts in the file, the sooner we can be of help, my friend. Say, if you are Sherlock Holmes, you can find anything, isn't that true? With your magnifying glass, footprints?
My performances are often embellished by my biographer.
Oh, good, good. I will give you the reports, but could you do me a small favour first? During my rounds, I dropped a leather folder containing some papers. Nothing of importance, but it's a big mistake. I would go looking for it myself, but I am stuck here on duty. I must have lost it near the seedy boarding house not far from here. Left when you leave the courtyard and left again in the lane. Perhaps you could go, ask around.
Goodbye.
We shall see what we can do. Are we going to go look for these documents?
Why not? It'll give us an occasion to take a tour of the district, Watson.
And it will give us access.
What are we doing, Holmes?
We're going left and then we're taking another left. Let's... Woohoo! Sprint! Are these people interactable?
Either way, what difference does it make?
Fuck if I know. Damn.
Either way, what difference does it make?
You girls are extreme. Am I like sighting? Did you? Is it right here? Left and then left, right? Oh. It's in here, isn't it? Is this it? Hello? Oh.
Good day, sir. You wouldn't happen to have seen a leather folder on the ground around here, would you?
Good day, gentlemen. Finley, caretaker of this building. Here to serve. And yes, less than an hour ago. But some of the local urchins picked it up and God only knows where it might be now.
That's unfortunate. This police bag contained documents that the local police will miss.
You're inspectors.
Not at all. I am Dr. Watson, and this is Sherlock Holmes, the detective.
Sherlock Holmes, the great detective. You must be here about last night's murder. Have you discovered the identity of the poor woman?
Indeed, I'd only to read the papers.
Mine is dated from this morning, and it does not say who it is.
I'm not really engaged in this case, but if I can help the police, I will do so willingly.
Oh, to be sure. I've been told that Inspector Aberline is in charge, a very capable man.
So, according to you, I have no chance of finding this folder then?
Indeed. But I, on the other hand, should be able to find it. Do me a favour in exchange. A vagrant comes almost every night to sleep in one of the nooks not far from my windows. He coughs, howls, sometimes even sings. He's quite hefty and I don't dare approach him. I've lost 3 tenants because of him. If it's you who speaks to the police, they will take this matter more seriously. Tell them about the captain. They'll know who you're talking about. In the meantime, I'll find your police bag.
Oh my god. It's just thing after thing. I'm sorry, is this another thing I have to read? Oh dear god. Okay, let's hope that this is written in simplified, non-accurate, era-accurate English. Another Whitechapel mystery. Horrible murder in Bucks Row, Whitechapel. Scarcely has the horror and sensation caused by the discovery of the murdered woman in Whitechapel some short time ago had time to abate when another discovery is made which, for the brutality exercised on the victim, it is even more shocking and will no doubt create as great a sensation in the vicinity as its predecessor. The affair up to the present is enveloped in complete mystery, and the police have as yet no evidence to trace the perpetrators of the horrible deed. The facts are that Constable John Neal was walking down Bucks Row, Thomas Street, Whitechapel, about 3:45 on Friday morning, when he discovered a woman between 35 and 40 years of age lying at the side of the street with her throat cut right open from ear to ear. The instrument with which the deed was done traversing the throat from left to right, the wound was about 2 inches wide. 2 inches wide? And blood was flowing profusely. She was discovered to be lying in a pool of blood. She was immediately conveyed to the Whitechapel mortuary, when it was found that besides the wound in the throat, the lower part of the abdomen was completely ripped open, with the bowels protruding. The wound extended nearly to her breast, and must have been affected with a large knife. As the corpse lie in the mortuary, it presents a ghastly sight. The victim seems to be between 35 and 40 years of age. We said that, and measures 5'2". Ah, that's my height, inches in height. The hands are bruised and bear evidence of having engaged in a severe struggle. She fought back. There is the impression of a ring having been worn on one of the deceased fingers, but there is nothing to show that it had been wrenched from her in the struggle. Some of the front teeth had also been knocked out, and the face is bruised on both cheeks and very much discolored. Deceased wore a rough brown ulster, I don't know what that is, with large buttons in front. Her clothes are torn and cut up in several places, bearing evidence of the ferocity with which the murder was committed. The only way by which the police can prosecute an inquiry at present is finding someone who can identify the deceased, and then, if possible, trace those in whose company she was last seen. I'm so sorry. In Bucks Row, naturally, the greatest excitement prevails, and several persons in the neighborhood state that an affray occurred shortly after midnight, but no screams were heard, nor anything beyond what might have been considered evidence of an ordinary brawl. In any case, the police unfortunately will have great difficulty bringing to justice the murderer or murderers. Great fire at the London warehouse. Oh, this is a new story. A fire broke out shortly before 9 o'clock Thursday night, in which one of the huge warehouses of the London warehouse. So what? I'm sorry, I read that wrong. A fire broke out shortly before 9 o'clock on Thursday night in one of the huge warehouses of the London warehouses. The warehouses were closed as usual at 4 in the afternoon, and there are then few persons except the night policemen and firemen left on the premises. At about 8:30, a smell of fire was noticed, and shortly afterwards there was an immense burst of flames from the top of one of the vast buildings right in the center of the warehouse. The volume of the fire was terrific, but at 9 o'clock the authorities of the fire brigade had heard nothing of the occurrence. Shortly afterwards, an alarm was given at the Whitechapel station, my birds, and the officials of the brigade instantly ordered every steamer to proceed to the scene, and the circulation of the news amongst the other stations caused steamers to be sent on every district in London. On arrival of the engine, it was found that a fire of enormous strength was raging in the upper floors of the great building, about 150 yards long and half as broad. The flames could not have been broken out in more dangerous part of the warehouse than the site of this fire. The South Quay warehouses, they were crammed with colonial produce in the upper floors, and brandy and gin in the lower floors. Through the great iron-barren windows, the fire could be seen raging like a furnace, and the enormous tongues of bluish and yellowish flames, which constantly burst up with great roars, pointed to the fact that spirits were aiding the progress of the flames. The alcohol? The scene at 10:30 was an imposing one. In the enormous warehouse, crammed with goods of incalculable value, with vast buildings on every side, and with great vessels in the wet warehouses, firemen, policemen, and dock officers were either watching or aiding in the endeavoring to extinguish the fire, while an enormous crowd gathered round the great gates and gazed at the progress of the fire in the distance. Whew, I'm sorry.
Let's go to the police station.
Let's go. Am I running now? I am running. I'll just keep it on run. It's one hell of a sprint. Am I going the right way? I need to make 2 rights, right? Yeah. Perfect.
So, gentlemen, have you found my police bag?
Not quite yet. Do you know a vagrant who goes by the name of the Captain?
Captain? Yes, an old sailor, strong as a Turk and tattooed from head to toe. The drink has turned him into a derelict.
He appears to be causing some problems for the caretaker of the building at the end of the street.
What do you want us to do? Every night, stairwells, halls, and porches become public dormitories, and people don't only come to sleep. I believe this man has a niece who puts him up sometimes. Her lodgings are in Commercial Street, right after the alley with the boarding house. You won't forget my folder, will you?
Oh my god.
Do you believe this woman will agree to have her uncle stay with her?
No idea. Oh well, let's go see her just the same.
This is one hell of a fetch quest we're doing right now. We're trying to get the folder by a guy, so the guy has asked us to get rid of Captain by talking to the police, and the police tell us to get rid of Captain, and we're gonna go talk to the niece, who will board him, and if she boards him, then we can go to the police, and then we can, well, no, we won't go to the police. We'll go to, it's not here, is it? No. It's supposed to be that alley.
There. This is where the niece of the captain must live.
Hello.
Good day, miss. Would you happen to be the niece of the man known as the captain?
Oh, yes, that would be me. What has he done this time? He isn't... Oh my god, I'm on my way.
Miss, we have come to ask if you could have your uncle come live with you. He sleeps under the windows of a boarding house, causes the caretaker no end of problems.
I know. I've lodged him for a while, and he was the same here. My landlord made me kick him out. I'm ashamed, you know. I never should have, given the state of his health. He coughs day and night.
There might be a way to calm his cough. I am a doctor. I could examine him.
He went to see a doctor at the clinic, but the medicine costs too much. I can hardly pay my rent.
We will see to it. Where might your uncle be found?
I don't know. He must be in the vicinity, but I don't know exactly where.
We will find him.
We have
Holmes,
to get
this is
medicine
serious.
from now.
Find an alcoholic in Whitechapel. A needle in a haystack would be easier.
Come, dear doctor, let's trust to our lucky star. Moreover, we also have our informers, remember?
Are you referring to those brats to whom you are always giving charity?
Exactly, my secret police.
Wiggins!
Some of them must surely roam in this area. It suffices to find them.
Is that Wiggins? Where even was that? There you are. Hello.
Hello, young man. How are you?
I recognize him. It's the lad who sells newspapers, who is always calling outside our windows at Baker Street early in the morning.
Hello, Mr. Holmes. It's a treat to see you again. What can I do?
Would you happen to know an old sailor who goes by the name of the Captain? A poor man who hits the bottle a bit hard.
Of course, Mr. Holmes. He's there at the end of the street. Round to the left he is. But be careful. He can be a tough customer, that one.
Very good, my young man. The doctor will give you a little something. Watson?
Huh? I say, Holmes.
Is he always such a skinflint with you, Mr. Holmes? Well, thanks to you, Mr. Holmes. Anytime you need me.
That voice of that kid, though. Hello.
What do you think, Holmes?
I don't know. Oh, I guess it was this way. Run, Watson! I know I'm doing a sprint backwards, but you can catch up. Oh, there is on the ground.
If, in order to listen to us, this man imposes as condition that we find his pet cockroach, there will be another murder in Whitechapel today, Watson. Yours.
Ah,
Sherlock is fed up with fetch quests just as much as I am. I fucking love it.
he is in a critical state, Holmes. He has barely a month left.
Is there a way, dear doctor, to ensure that this last month passes in silence?
Really, Holmes, sometimes you... Oh, really? I will make note of some medicine to get immediately that will relieve his pain.
Very well. I will locate an apothecary or a clinic.
Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste. Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste.
Okay. So am I supposed to look at my map? Where's my map? There it is. Map. Alright, so Lucy, dead end, boarding house, police station, clinic. Cool. I'm glad we already walked this way.
This building is a clinic.
Mm-hmm. This is the same exact clinic that was in... Shit, what game was that? I've played so many of these back to back, but this is the same exact clinic. The same outside, same everything, and same church that's across the street. It doesn't have the graveyard, but it's the same thing. It's very cool. Hello.
Good day, sir. Dr. Gibbons. You aren't from around these parts.
Indeed, Doctor. It is for someone from your neighborhood that I am here, though. His doctor asked that I acquire some medicine on his behalf. I have the note here.
Dr. Watson? Not from round here neither. This medication is quite dear. Certain documents are necessary to obtain them for free.
I don't have it. You'll have to accept my spare change. Will it be enough?
Enough to relieve your patient for a month. Would you like me to make this prescription available after that time?
According to Dr. Watson, that won't be necessary.
The possibility of a recovery?
A definitive one, yes.
There, sir.
Thank you.
Where's everyone gone?
It's rather quiet here.
An unusual chain of events. The majority of the people hereabouts went out last night to see the great fire at the warehouse. The patients that I was minding and my staff were no exception. The former were dramatically healed, and the latter ended up sick. And with the murder last night, most of the people who weren't working wandered over to the scene of the crime. Their little aches and pains will wait until tonight or tomorrow.
A squalid murder, it would seem.
Just like what this area has become.
That's kind of funny.
My thanks, Doctor.
Not at all.
That is kind of funny. Okay, wait, can I just use my map? I think I could just use my map. What was it again? Ooh, I accidentally pressed R. There we go. There we go. Hello.
Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste.
How do I get my inventory up again? There it is. Actually, how... Oh, I could just scroll. Perfect.
Here is the medication, Watson. Is our man movable?
He should be able to stand in a few minutes and will no longer be suffering from his cough before long.
Consider the affair resolved. Accompany him to his niece's while I return to the boarding house, and then join me at the police station. Let's return to the boarding house.
Okay. Let's return. Do I want to walk? I guess I'll walk. It's really close. And I apparently can just sprint so fucking fast. Alright, it's right here, I think. Yeah, it is right here.
I have good news for you, Mr. Finley. We have sent the captain to stay with a relative, and he shouldn't bother you for a while.
I also have some good news. I have your police bag.
Thank you. I bid you good day.
Oh, it was nothing. Tell me, one of my wife's friends lost...
Another day, Finley. Another day. Let's go to the police station.
Sherlock, I'm with you there. Not that I'm complaining, that was a pretty short fetch quest, but I'm with you, Sherlock. That's pretty hilarious. It's very hilarious. Why is... It's a nice stroller to just kind of leave about.
So, what news do you have, Mr. Holmes?
Let me give you your bag.
Are you sure it's the police bag that you lost?
Yes, but someone attempted to force it open. They didn't succeed, but now the lock is stuck. Perhaps you could...
Let's see.
Hold on. Is this a puzzle? It's a puzzle! Okay, what? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, am I trying to do 1, 2, 3? Fuck. How? What is the code that I'm doing here? What's the code?
So, what news do you have, Mr. Holmes?
You bitch. What's the code? Am I trying to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Like, but what order? Like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Is it like that? Shit, is it like that? Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up really fast because I'm not sure if it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's gonna take me a really long time. If I don't know. Police bag Sherlock. Let's see here. I'm just gonna look at an image of the solved bag. It is. Okay. Hold on. That's all I need to know. Is it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could do that. 1. Put that on top. So I want this to be 1, 2, 3. So I want 1, 2, and 3 here. So I'll get rid of your 4. And I'll give the 4 to this one. Oops. Oops. But I'll give this one my 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I just need to move this 5 over here. Move this like that. Move you like that. Ooh, but I need to get the 1 back up there. Move. Let me reset.
All done.
Oh!
A big thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Think nothing of it, my friend.
Okay, the reason I find that really funny is I wasn't even trying. I was just trying to get the 1 and the 2 in the right order. I didn't realize that the rest were in the right order. I was just focusing on the 1 and the 2 because I wanted to go 1, 2, but it was going 1, 2. So I was like, shit, I need to get 1, 2. So that's why I switched this one, switched that one. I didn't know the rest would fall into place just doing that. That is hilarious. Sorry, I'm easily amused.
So, the reports.
Why don't you wait till the inspectors get back? You would certainly learn more.
If I wanted to meet the inspectors, I would have done so. So, give me the preliminary reports, and above all, do not mention my visit to anyone. Is that clear?
Sure, if that's what you want. Here are the reports.
Thank you.
Death of Polly Nichols, 31st of August, 1888. Autopsy report by Dr. Henry Leylin, surgeon. Her throat had been cut from left to right, 2 distinct cuts being on the left side, the windpipe, gullet, and spinal cord being cut through. A bruise apparently of a thumb being on the right lower jaw, also one on the left cheek. The abdomen had been cut open from the center been cut open from the center of the bottom of the rib along the right side under the pelvis of the left of the stomach. There the wound was jagged. The omentum or coating of the stomach was also cut in several places, and 2 small stabs on private parts, apparently done with strong bladed knife, supposed to have been done by some left-handed person death being almost instantaneous. I imagine it was left-hand person because it was on the left hand. Everything was left. Alright, resume.
Have you obtained the preliminary reports?
Yes, we'll read them on the go. Let's to the scene of the crime at Bucks Row, Watson.
Let's do that next time. I need to figure out how to save before I leave. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the here it is. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video of this. I'm so excited to play more. It's actually really funny. Like, really funny. Sherlock definitely has some very dry humor in this game, it seems. But anyways, I'm rambling. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!